City, man. They all showed up. They all showed up.
Vandersloot gives it up. Parker to tie. You bet!
Here's the 0-1. This is going to be a tough play. What? The Cubs!
Finds Rose. Rose trying to get open. Fires away. Bang! It's over! The Bulls win at the buzzer! DeRozan to win it! Goal! DeMar DeRozan delivers!
Anderson hits it in the air to right. Back at the wall, and the White Sox win it!
Big one-way Fields stumbling. Trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown!
Who will receive it first after it is hoisted by the captain? Will it be the 40-year-old defenseman who has longed for this moment? Yes, sir.
Walking right, Chicago!
What is going on, everybody? This is Mike Hughes, and you're listening to Mike on the Mic, everything sports-related podcast. We are back. It is October 9th, Sunday, 2022, and the Chicago Bears have fallen 2-3 to the 4-1 Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. Justin Jefferson had himself a day. We talked about it in our pregame prediction. We said he would get over 150 yards. I believe he ended with 154, and then he had the 2-point conversion towards the end, so I don't know what that accumulates to. But, man, what a day. What a day. What a way to end it. I mean, Smith-Marsette. Who? Like, what the fuck are we talking about? What are we talking about right now? Who in God's green earth is Smith-Marsette other than being named as the former Minnesota Viking who just handed the ball away to the defense in crunch time? We were on a great streak. We were going. We were live. Justin looked great. 15 for 21, 208 yards and a touchdown today, 47 yards rushing, and almost had over probably, I would say, 80 to 90 yards, but he got a touchdown taken back because, again, Smith-Marsette is awful and had a horrible penalty that took away Justin's touchdown that would have honestly given us the lead. But that's neither here nor there. We're going to break down the game in its entirety, the 29-22 loss to the Minnesota Vikings, who are currently the NFC North winners. If it all ended today, the Green Bay Packers shit the bed against Brian Daboll and the New York Giants, pardon me. But I mean, what a day. What a day. The Bears were down 21-3 at one point in this game, and they climbed all the way back to get the lead. Honestly, they were 22-21. They had the lead even after the failed fourth down attempt, even after the failed 2-point conversion, even after the failed onside kick where Matt Eberflus was so aggressive today, and I loved to see it. But one of the biggest fucking things about all of it was questioning, why are we being so aggressive only in the third quarter? And I love the aggressiveness. I truly do. But with this personnel, it's hard to say that you want to be aggressive. That's one of the most frustrating things to me is like, we understand what this team is, and being aggressive is not our strong suit. I think we kind of have to wait for the right moments. We're on TikTok live right now as well. If you're following this on the All Sports All Plays Network, show me some love. We're at Cubs.Mike on TikTok. We do amazing things over there. We're live right now. We have some great people in here. We got some comments. This hurts to see. Fought back, but they surprised me. Bring back Kyle Orton. Kyle, where are you, baby? We need you. But in all seriousness, Justin played a pretty decent game, I would say. He was under a lot of pressure. He had a lot of guys on him the majority of the time. 15 for 21, 208 yards. Like I said, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, which was great to see. 8 carries for 47 yards. And like I said, he would have had 1 rushing touchdown and probably around 75 to 80 rushing yards if that, obviously, if that didn't get taken back by the man of the hour, Amir Smith-Marsette, who 1 reception for 15 yards and the takeaway for the Minnesota Vikings to end the game. What a guy. What a fucking guy. What a former teammate. I mean, I would love if my former teammates just helped me out like that. But yeah, I mean, it's super frustrating. Damn close game. Bring back Jim McMahon in the fridge. I don't think either of them are in good enough shape to be able to do that. But in all seriousness, if they were in their prime, this would be great. But I think there's so much to break down in this game. And first of all, let's talk about it. Flight JF1 to Air Mooney for the one-handed grab was outstanding. I love to see it. Obviously, it was a little bit out of Mooney's range, but great players make great plays, and that's what that is. And also, you have to take it from the consideration that Mooney isn't going to beat the one-on-one. He's not a physical guy. He's definitely going to have to go out there and extend for a play, because you understand he's not going to beat the one-on-one. He's not a Will Fuller. He's not a Mike Evans. He's not a who's another guy? A Stephon Diggs that's going to actually be able to beat the one-on-one matchup. So it was actually a pretty good ball considering everything. But in all seriousness, we got a Vikings fan in here. What a game. Go Vikings, Skull. Honestly, you guys played one hell of a game. I'm not going to sit here and make excuses. I'm not going to say that we were going to go on and win that game. I have no idea how that would have transpired. But all in all, I mean, this team fights. They're a second-half team, and we understand that. Talking with my buddy Alan Bratcher about it, it's just one of those games. It's just one of those games. We got some Facebook comments in here as well. I do appreciate everybody coming in here. Here comes Dustin, the pretend Bears fan. Skull, skull, skull. LOL. In all seriousness, got mad love for Dustin. Hell of an effort by the Bears, and a lot took. And what did he say? And a lot to look forward to them. Yeah, 100%. We got Ron in here. Who is this sexy man on the screen? Ron, that's all you, baby. I appreciate you being here. But yeah, man, it was crazy. Ron said, fuck out of here. Hold this L, Mike. I'm holding it, baby. I got it. I'm holding it with pride. I promise I'm not hiding from this. This is something we have to own. This is something that Bears fans right now can't make excuses for. We really can't. Like, this is exactly the team that we keep talking about. We are who we put on the field. And that's what it is, point blank, period. Like, we are what we thought we were. I love saying that, but we are who we thought we were. And that's one of the biggest things. You look at situations to where in crunch time, there's a guy named Smith Matterson or whatever, Marset, pardon me, Smith Marset, who's on the field in crunch time. That's insane to me. That's blasphemy. That, Will Fuller is there, that OBJ is there, Cole Beasley, who just retired, but, it's neither here nor there. Julio Jones, all these other wide receivers in free agency that we could have brought in to help make these kind of plays and help actually win games in game-driving situations. And we don't have anybody. We have Pettis, who had a horrible drop today. We have Darnell Mooney, who showed out today. I was really excited to see him do his thing. And then we have Smith Marset, who not only took away a touchdown from Justin Fields with a stupid penalty all the way in the back when Justin was already in the end zone 40 yards down, but then we have a situation to where he's just going to hand the ball off. We got my guy Mick here. My guy Mick is a foreigner. He's doing his thing. Mick said, hi, Mike. I thought there were a few positives after the way we started the game. 100%. There were definitely a few things we could take away from this game and say, hey, we looked a lot better than we thought we did. Kyler Gordon looked a lot better today than he has in other games. Obviously, Justin Jefferson still had over 150 yards, but let's be real. Justin Jefferson's cooking the entire league. Personally, myself, no bias. I think Justin Jefferson's the best all-around wide receiver in the game. Cooper Kupp is very close as well. Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, they're all very close, but I have Justin Jefferson as a better all-around wide receiver. Play Velus Jones. Yeah, I think, it's something right now. Velus Jones gets his first NFL touchdown in his first NFL grab. Like that was one of the best things. His first reception is his first touchdown, and he talked about that earlier in the week, that's exactly how he saw it going, and that's exactly how it went. We had a great sweep option pass with him, and that was great to see. I was really excited to see what he was going to be able to bring. I still want to see more from him. Send him back to the Vikings, cut his ass. Yeah, 100%. Talking about Smith Marset. But again, Gold Vols, baby. Got Randy Jowers and Jim Cross and DB in here somewhere. And Velus did his thing. So it was exciting. It was exciting. I'm really happy that he was able to do at least something from an offensive perspective other than just kick returns and punt returns. He's so much more than that. It's going to be a lot of fun to see what he's able to do in the future. And I think, there's going to be a lot of it. Cut that piece of shit. 100%. And this is a post-game live, so we could say whatever we want. Please don't feel like shy of saying how you feel. We're putting up all comments. We got my guy Matty in here, one of the best shortstops in the game. This wide receiver room is so bad. 110%. Matty, I love it. And me and you talked about it in during softball this year. We were just breaking it down for what it was and understanding, like, and I'm going to keep it a stack. And anybody can tell me where I'm wrong. I think Darnell Mooney is a low-end wide receiver 2, high-end wide receiver 3. Like, if you look at the Cincinnati Bengals, you have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and then I would put Darnell Mooney. If you look at the Miami Dolphins, you have Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and then I would put Darnell Mooney, Gabe Davis, Stephon Diggs, and then I would put Darnell Mooney in Buffalo. You look at, maybe not other places. Maybe there's a Hollywood Brown, DeAndre Hopkins conversation where you could say that Darnell Mooney's better than Hollywood, but more times than not, like, let's be real about the conversation. Like, Darnell Mooney cannot be your wide receiver one. He's not going to beat the one-on-ones. He's not going to beat the jump balls. He's not going to beat any of that. And that's something we need to have a conversation about. But he can make these great one-handed catches. He can get open when he can. And when other guys are spread out as well, he just thrives. And I love seeing that from Darnell Mooney. So, I think he's a stud. He's going to be great. One of the biggest things we just need to do is get him people around him to be able to take the heat off of him. We got a couple other comments in here. We got Dylan in here. The way this game went shows a bright future for this team. I'm excited. Slant receiver from Jonathan. Dustin says Smith Marset is not a bad wide receiver. However, the Vikings cut him for Rager. And that's really what it is. And Dustin, I know you're a Minnesota guy, but I'm going to keep it a stack. He's bad. He's ass. Like, that's what it is. If Jalen Rager took your spot, you're awful. Like, that's what it is. That's what it is. Jalen Rager was awful. Like, I think, that's one of the conversations today, who also had his first touchdown today as a Minnesota Viking. So that just shows who we are. But it really is. It really is a conversation right now. We got a couple guys in here saying 17 better be cut at the end of this week, but I don't think you can do that just because of the player personnel. We need everybody in case injuries happen. But, there's nothing to me right now that shows that the Chicago Bears are competent in winning football games. We obviously, I was talking to my guy Carlo about it. He's one of my good buddies. And the reality is, we look at the first game of the season, pure luck. You look at the Texans, awful organization. They're not any better than we are. But it's just an awful organization, and we got lucky with that one as well. But we haven't done anything. We haven't done anything to prove that we can win. We haven't done anything to prove that we can truly compete. We have flashes. And a lot of people are saying that in the comments right now. We have flashes of greatness. And I love that. I love that we could sit here and say Jaquan Brisker looked great. Kyler Gordon, who I've been very critical on, had a blocked kick, and that was great. That was great. He helped it. He helped us. He held it down. He kept us close in the game. Justin Jefferson did kind of annihilate him, but he annihilates everybody, so I'm not tripping about it. But yeah, we had bright spots. Justin Fields looked a lot better today. Threw the ball 21 times. I was super excited to see that. We're doing things, and you look at it from that perspective. Let's get into it. Justin Fields, like I said, if you're just tuning in, 15 for 21, 208, one touchdown on the day, 47 yards carrying. You look at David Montgomery, 12 carries for 20 yards and a touchdown. I'm happy to see him back. Khalil Herbert, 4 carries for 11. We did not rush the ball effectively at all today. David Montgomery, from a receiving perspective, had 4 receptions for 62 yards, so that was solid. Saved me in fantasy there. Darnell Mooney, with a one-handed grab, had 2 receptions for 52 yards. Cole Kmet, 4 for 45. St. Brown had 2 for 24. Smith Marset with 1 with 15, and there was a very specific one. Bayless Jones had 1 for 9 and a touchdown. Ryan Griffin had 1 for 1, and everybody else. Pettis had a huge drop, did not have a great game whatsoever. It wasn't great. It wasn't a great day. We did have Kindle Vildor, who had his first career interception. He has arrived. My guy, Alan Bratcher, was talking to me about that. Super excited to see him arrive. I'm super excited about it. We had a comment here from my guy Malcolm. My guy Malcolm does amazing stuff on YouTube, by the way. Malcolm Gooley, he does great stuff. You guys will love his stuff. He said, "I'm not mad at this game, but I believe we can beat Washington this way." It was really a very deep game. But yeah, Mike, love you, buddy. But oh my God, is the Giants? It's like the Giants all over again. 110%. 110%. I think, just like the Giants, we shit the bed. We shit the bed, and that's what it was. We shit the fucking bed, and there's no way around it. There's no conversation around it. There's nothing we can say. There's nothing we can do to make this sound better than what it was. Kirk Cousins with a career high and a franchise record for the Minnesota Vikings went 17 for 17 to start this game. Fucking ridiculous by Kirk Cousins, who looked outstanding and unbeatable in the first half of this game. Second half, he took the pedal off the gas, or he put his foot off the gas. Pardon me. I don't know what I was just trying to say. Kirk Cousins finished the day 32 for 41, 296 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Justin Jefferson had 1 for 1, 23 yards. Amazing throw, by the way, by Justin Jefferson. Jay Jettas really did his thing. Reminded me of a little bit of an Odell Beckham Jr. moment back in the New York Giant days. Dalvin Cook Cook, 18 carries for 94 yards and 2 touchdowns. Alexander Madison had 9 for 19, and Kirk Cousins had 4 for 4 and 1 QB sneak for a touchdown to seal the deal. Justin, 12 receptions for 154 yards. What a fucking stud. We lost, period. We move on. 110%. Sean, I'm completely with you. Irv Smith Jr. had 4 for 42. Osborne, pardon me, had 5 for 14. Adam Thielen, 4 for 27. Dalvin Cook, from a receiving perspective, 2 for 27. Madison, from a receiving perspective, 3 for 21. Johnny had 2 for 6. And Jalen Reagor, with 1 touchdown, was 1 reception for 1 yard. It was a little a little sweep option pass. It is what it is. I'm not too mad about it. Somebody said skull. We got hella Vikings fans in here. I don't know where the fuck y'all are coming from, but I know y'all heard me talking shit earlier today, so I'm not mad about it. We did have our pregame predictions. We said that the Vikings would win this game 31-13. So, 29-22, I'm not too upset about it. We really did exceed expectations, in my opinion. We really held them, and we really did our thing, so I'm really excited about it. We got Malcolm in here again. Kyler Gordon and Brisker are going to be the heart and soul of this defense in the back end with Eddie Jackson and a Jalen Johnson returning. Kendall Vildor, I hate that man, but he came up clutch. 100%. I think a lot of people hate Kendall, and a big reason for that, and I was talking to my buddy Allen about it, and I completely agree. I played in the secondary a lot, and I felt like, there's moments for me, I played safety. So, when you move me to nickel or you move me wherever, on the outside, it's a problem. It is definitely a problem. So for me, one of the biggest things right now is really just understanding what it is, really understanding what this team can be. And I think at the end of the day, we really do need to be careful for how we're playing and how we look. I think it's going to be a huge problem. It's really something right now. I think, Kendall Vildor looks a lot better inside, and obviously Kyler Gordon looks a lot better outside. And I didn't really understand why they kept moving them around so much. Consistency is key when you're trying to become something special in this league. And that's one of the biggest things. That is one of the biggest things. We're going to try to get my boy Kevin in here. Let's see if we can get my boy in here. I'm going to send it to him right now. Bears Nation podcast. I see you, Kev. I'm getting you in here right now, and we're going to have this conversation. I'm really excited to see Kevin in here. Let me see if I could see where this man is. We're going to have our boy in here. I hope y'all can hear him on the Facebook Live, but it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun to get Kevin here. He's always doing his thing. If you haven't checked him out, Bears Nation Pod on TikTok or on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Him and Jake do amazing things all the time, and maybe sometimes I'm on there every now and then. I'm on the therapy sessions on Tuesdays sometimes. So it's a lot of fun, though. It's a lot of fun to see everybody doing their thing. It's a lot of fun to see this team trying to get better. Somebody said, oh, my guy, Hector. I fucking love Hector. Hector said, baby steps to an exciting future. 100%. And I think that's one of the biggest things right now is just comprehending what this team is going to be and what the future of this team has the potential to do. I'm still not sold on Luke Getsy. I still don't love Luke Getsy. I still don't think he's the guy. And I really would hate Justin Fields to have 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years, technically 4 if you count Bill Lazor, Luke Getsy, Matt Nagy, and then obviously the guy they would hire next year. But I think it's for the growth of this team, you have to do it. You have to do it. I think that's what it is. So I'm still waiting for Kevin here. I'm not sure if Kevin's in here somewhere. Let's face it. Chicago is not a winning team, just like the Texans, Detroit Lions, San Diego Chargers. I haven't heard the San Diego Chargers in a minute. But yeah, it's just the facts. It's just the facts. Yeah. Kevin, if you're watching this, baby, I'm also live on Facebook. I just saw your text. But it's definitely something right now. You look at it for what it is. This team isn't great. So we're getting Kevin in here real quick. Just invited him to the TikTok. We'll see if we can get him in here. It's going to be fun though, man. It's going to be fun to really get this team going. Obviously Smith Marset, not great whatsoever. And that's something we're all going to have to deal with. So I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do to make this team good, to make this team run. It's something right now that I think it's just going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. We got Bears Nation podcast walking in the cut right now. Kevsky, you here, baby?
I got you, baby. I got you.
What do you think, Kev? What's going on? What's your thought process right now?
Man, hold on. Let me get my face on. You see me?
Yes, sir. I see your beautiful face.
Bro, what is going on? Why aren't you running out of bounds? And here's the problem, Mike.
Dude.
Because look, here's the problem, Mike. They could have won that game. I thought in that moment, did you not think Justin Fields was going to go down and score a touchdown? Be honest. In that gut feeling, did you score?
I'll tell you what, before the David Montgomery 30-plus yard grab, I was like, all right, we're done. Because Justin was getting pressured. I didn't see anybody creating separation. But after that Montgomery grab, I was like, this is it. This is the moment. This is going to be – we talked about it all year. We're waiting for that moment. Like, he is him. Where is he? And that was his moment. That was his moment to really do his thing. I was looking forward to it. I was ecstatic. I was ecstatic for Justin. I was like, this is exactly what he needs. But you and I talked about it, bro. And I want to ask you, for everybody watching right now, again, Bears Nation podcast, Kevin Lapka doing his thing, 670 to score, one of the most handsome dudes in the game right now. But in all seriousness, Kevin, games on the line. You have Pettis, you have St. Brown, obviously Darnell Mooney, who stud, but then you have a guy named Smith Marset, who has one of the game-winning drive catches. Is that not the writing on the walls already?
Yeah, it is. Well, here's the problem. Well, why is that guy out there? Because in his first offensive snap of the game, Velus Jones Jr. scores a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And how many snaps did he get the rest of the game, Mike?
0.
I'm pretty sure he didn't get one.
I didn't see him.
Watch. I didn't see him.
I didn't see him.
What are we doing? He proves to you that he provides a different kind of look, and he changes the complexion of the offense. On his first play, he scores a touchdown, and he doesn't come out the rest of the game. If that's not ineptitude by the offensive play caller or the offensive coach, that's exactly what that is. So
100%.
That's where I'm like, I came to a realization last week, Mike, the personnel's not good enough for this team.
Right.
It's not. They're not good enough to win games like this, and that's why Smith or Marset is out there in moments like that. But Velus Jones Jr. should be out there. It makes 0 sense. But it's like, what do you want the guy to do, man? I mean, like those two Josh like Pettis, man, me and you could have made those catches. Like, those are catches you absolutely have to make. Absolutely have to make, man. So it's frustrating. But again, like we're being proved right week after week after week that it's not on Justin. It's not. Right. Justin did everything he could. It's not his fault. He's doing the best he can. You give Justin if you gave Justin flip it. You gave Justin you gave Justin Fields Justin Jefferson.
You got it.
You got it. Yeah. If you gave him Justin Jefferson,
Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook. I mean, come on.
With their offensive skill players, the Bears would have won that game.
100%.
They just need that more talent.
100%. And I think I want to ask you this too. I know you haven't done much coaching, but from a guy who's been around great coaches before. Now, Justin Fields rushes it in for a touchdown on a 50-yard. I would say it was around 50 yards that he ran in for. And you have Smith Marset with a horrible penalty. Kevin, let me ask you this. In all seriousness, all jokes aside, if you're Matt Eberflus, do you even bring him back in the game for the rest of the game? I would throw in Velus. I'd say you're done. That's it. You need to learn from this. You're new to this scheme. Shit like that can't slide. And the first thing they ever teach you, especially in crunch time, which we're going to get into why he uses the timeouts before the 2-minute warning every single game in a little bit. I understand what he's trying to do there, but I was also kind of like, I guess, but the first thing they teach you is get the fuck out of bounds. Like whatever you were trying to do. And I felt like, and I'll give him credit. I'll give him credit because Smith Marset was probably trying to do something against his former team who gave up on him. And from a personal standpoint, I understand that. But sir, if you're trying to win the fucking game, you got to understand your situation. You are not him. Like that. You literally handed the ball to somebody. As a former safety, I live for people like Smith Marset. Guys who just get caught napping thinking I'm just going to push you out of bounds. No, give me the fucking ball. Like that's what it is. And I think, that was the writing on the wall for me, where everybody right now, I understand 200 yards isn't a lot to ask of Justin Fields. By the way, 208, suck my nuts. But in all seriousness, it's one of those things where, you look at the player personnel. Let's be real. We always talk about he doesn't throw the ball that much. So when you look at the personnel that you have and throwing the ball 11 to 17 times, 200 yards is a lot to ask. It truly is, especially when you have 2 30-yard bombs to Pettis and he drops both. That's 60 yards damn near right there. And Kevin, for you, like, what were the takeaways, at least seeing Justin throw over 20 times today? Was there anything you can look forward to, or do you think that was just because of the Vikings matchup?
Oh, no. This was Justin Fields' best game, a huge building block, and a whole lot of momentum, right? They started to do the easy things. And this is what I've been talking about for weeks. You saw the short routes to Komet. I mean, Komet had 4 catches, 45 yards, and then late in the game, they're running out routes, and they're just getting him into a rhythm, and then they're taking the shots down the field a little bit. This is what they need to do. They finally figured out what their rhythm is offensively with him. Just get him into a groove. Don't do anything too crazy. Their blocking on the screens were great previously in the past few games. Those have been getting blown up, and you, again, we're being proved right that you just give him the right amount of time. You design play calls for him that just get guys open. He's going to make the throws.
Right.
Justin Fields can do anything you want him to do. He can do anything you want him to do. But with the blocking being terrible in the past few weeks and guys not getting open, there's certain situations where people are going to still yell at him for holding the ball too long or for taking sacks or for throwing it away. But again, it all goes back to the personnel issues. But with, the job he did today against the Vikings defense that is still pretty good. Like, their front four is good. He was feeling the pressure. He felt the pressure really well. He made some great plays out of it running. And again, I said this on my live that I just got off of. The thing people have to understand is 30% of the reason, if not more, that Justin Fields is going to be a special player in this league is because of his legs.
Right.
And so all these people, because everyone, Mike, we're from Chicago and all these old boomers, they want a pocket passer, man. Like, the pocket, we want a pocket, fuck the running, stay in the pocket and pass the ball.
Right.
No, this is why Justin Fields is going to be great. If he rushes for 50 yards a game, that's why he's going to be great. And what he did today, recognizing pressure, getting out, and again, it should have been a 50-yard touchdown if it worked for the block in the back that I thought was kind of a nicky-knack call anyway.
Yeah.
I saw amazing things from Justin today.
Right. And it was also one of those things I feel like that's not called if you're in Chicago. If you're in Minnesota, that's going to get called. But it's just me. That was not the nail that put us in the coffin. You know what I mean? Like, that wasn't it. So I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to nitpick that. But if you look at it for what it is, it's over 80 yards rushing by Justin Fields today, if that stands. And seeing him really,
What was it?
it was about 80 something. It was about a 40-yard rush for a touchdown. So he already finished the day with 47. So I would say it was around 83, something along those lines. But in all seriousness, what it was, seeing him be able to read, and this is something, you don't teach. No, and I don't care what anybody says. No quarterback coach can teach you to feel the pressure of a defense coming for you and understanding where this guy is expecting to take you from, and understanding how to not only dissect that, but to also get away from it. That is everything. We have Dustin here, said it was a 52-yard scramble called back. So 52 plus 47. I went to Chicago public schools. Somebody can do that for me in the chat. So 99. So that's a solid day by Justin Fields. It's one of those days that, we can just look back and understand. And also it's 99 and it's Justin Fields, the competitor. So I'm sure he would have sneaked in another yard to get that huncho. But Kevin, there was so much I saw today that, one, Braxton Jones very early on looked great. I loved what we saw from Braxton Jones. Kind of fell apart in the second half. But again, rookie, really trying to get his foot under him. Jenkins looked all right. He had a couple of slip-ups, but again, young guys, and we're seeing a lot. But our guy, and I'm gonna give you the floor. I know the listeners are waiting for you to talk about it. Sam Mustipher. I want you to just dissect to why this man is still under center. And Kevin, where is Lucas Patrick?
Don't ever give me the floor on Sam Mustipher again. People don't want to hear it. I've said it too many times. But the thing that I don't understand is, like, week after week, he is inept. I mean, in the first series of the game, he's Justin Fields goes to line of scrimmage, tries to change the play. He just snaps the ball into him. Everyone else on offense understands what Justin Fields is trying to do. He just snaps the ball right into him. And the thing that I don't understand is all throughout practice this week, it's Lucas, we're trying things around. Lucas Patrick is at center.
Right.
And, maybe Michael Schofield's going to go to guard, or Jatir Carter is going to slide in at guard, because at this point, like, Sam Mustipher could be the worst starting player at any position in the NFL right now. I 100% think that's a possibility. So if he's that bad, if he's the worst player in the NFL, what do you have to lose with throwing Michael Schofield out there, a guy who's been a veteran in the league, who's proved he can at least hold his own? He might not be great, but he's at least better than Mustipher, unless the root of the issue is still the fact that Lucas Patrick can't snap a football, which I think is bullshit because he's been doing it in practice all week. And the thing that frustrates me, also as it pertains to Velus Jones Jr., is that Cowboys just get a fumble 6 to start the game. They're up 7-0 against the Rams. If these guys are...
I like that, Kevin. I like that little transition.
I had to do it. Marcus Lawrence, there's a flag on the play. But, if you're practicing at that position, you got to play. I'm sorry. Like, if you're a full participant in practice, you're snapping the ball all week, or you're Velus Jones Jr., you're fine to play. You got to be playing every single rep. And that's, to me, that's on the offensive coaching staff. That's on the offensive coaching staff. They got to switch something up there. I would say Mustafa wasn't terrible near the end of the game. The offensive line shored up in the second half, but man, they need to do everything they can to get him out of there.
100%.
Everything they can.
100%. Now, I do want to – I know you played a lot of wide receiver. You played a lot of offense. And my guy Kev is elite. Don't just put him in a box. He also plays both ways. He is a dog. He will join me in a backfield one day. We will get it going. But right now, when you look at it for what it is, and my guy Damian Hernandez came in here and said this team is really missing Jalen Johnson. And that's an obvious. That is an obvious. A Pro Bowl caliber guy when healthy, just health has always been one of his biggest issues. But can we be real about the conversation right now that Jalen Johnson wouldn't have made a significant difference when covering Justin Jefferson? Like that's the narrative I want everybody to take away from this is it didn't matter. It would have made a difference. You know what I mean? With Adam Thielen and a couple other guys. I forgot what his name is, 84. I believe his name is also Smith. Yeah, Smith. The Smiths. Minnesota loves the Smiths, and we had a double agent today on the fucking Bears, but whatever. But it's something right now, you know, looking at it for what it is, the future is so bright. And Kyler Gordon, who I've been super critical on, you know, one of the biggest conversations, and I was actually talking to my guy Alan about it. We talked about it a little bit earlier. I wanted your take on it. You know, you have these horrible setups. And I think with young guys, you really got to give them their certified position. And you can't mess around like you do in college. Like, obviously, there's the Brian Urlachers of the world who can return punts, be a safety, be a linebacker, be a running back. Hell, you even ask Brian, he'll tell you he plays quarterback better than half the league. But that's neither, you know, that's an anomaly. You know, gadget guys are an anomaly. And, you know, you have Kendall Vildor, who was so used to playing outside, and now today you put him inside, and you switch with Kyler Gordon, who at Penn State obviously played outside, and he was amazing in the Pac-12. Washington, my bad. I don't know why I always think he's at Penn State, but that's Brisker. All right, I knew we had a Penn boy out there somewhere, but it's something right now. You know, you see them kind of naturally in their positions, and me as someone, you know, I was very, very heavy on free safety. Like, I did not like strong. I did not like nickel. I did not like anything. I was where I was, and I liked being where I was. And for a lot of these guys, they kind of feel the same way, especially on a level like this. For you, how important is it to remain consistent, even when Jalen gets back? Maybe we keep Kendall inside and we keep Kyler outside. Do you make a change when Jalen gets back?
Yeah, I think you have to, right? I mean, Kyler Gordon played well today. I mean, and the thing you're learning about him is he's a really good tackler. Kyler Gordon's a very good tackler. He had multiple plays in the fourth quarter, you know, saving first downs, they turned out to not matter. But I think you got to keep him there right now. And Kendall Vildor had an interception in this game. You're right, though, when you say it's not only the fact that Justin Jefferson's just that guy, and I don't care who he's going up against. Right. Like, he's gonna have his way because he's the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Talk to him. Behind. All right, we're gonna pass that. We're gonna pass that.
But, you know, you got to give a little bit of credit to Kevin O'Connell because the schemes that they were designing, I mean, guys were just getting wide open. Like, you didn't see a whole lot of just, you know, really pure route running, beating guys man-to-man, one-on-one. You saw that a little bit, but a lot of the times you're just seeing a guy wide open with a defender with no defender near him. And it's not because Justin Jefferson's shaking him 10 yards away. No, it's just that they're scheming guys open, and they did a really good job of that. I thought they were outclassed completely defensively. I mean, Alan Williams really has to get back to the drawing board because this is the second week in a row where he's been completely fooled by the opposing, coaching staff. Last week it was Daniel Jones on the bootlegs and the play action and the inability to contain that. And this week you got guys wide open, and you know they seem to not understand what to do with Justin Jefferson. I mean, to be honest, like they have a couple guys on that offense that are going to scare you a little bit. So you can't draw your attention all to one guy because they do have other playmakers on the field. But throughout the week, Mike, in team meetings and everything, like. Is it not your whole plan to neutralize Justin Jefferson?
Right.
Like that is your whole game plan. If Dalvin Cook beats you, fine. If Adam Thielen beats you, if KJ Osborne beats you, fine. You're not. You need to head into the game saying we're not going to let Justin Jefferson beat us. We know he's that good, and we're going to do everything we can. And there's a chance that he still will, but I didn't see them try their hardest, throw more things at him, do double teams. I didn't see them do that with him. So, but I go back to your original question, then I'll hop out of here. I think they have to keep it where it's at. I mean, you saw better production from Kyler as a whole. The secondary didn't look good, but this is right now about what's best for him. He's your second round pick. He's supposed to be up there, as a top cornerback on this team and in the division. And I think he can be that as an outside corner. And I saw a little bit more from him today. I gotta head out. I gotta head to work. But Mike, appreciate you having me on, man. We'll talk soon. We'll talk on Tuesday. All right.
Always, baby. I'll talk to you later. All right.
All right, buddy. Love you. See you.
I love you too, man. But yeah, man, we really did break that down, and we do appreciate Kevin for coming on. Bears Nation podcast, give him some love, especially on the TikTok. They do amazing edits on there. And again, if you aren't already, follow Mike Hughes on TikTok as well. I heard that guy's pretty decent. He does, I do Cubs.Mike on TikTok. We're live on there right now. If you haven't already, give us a follow if you do like what you're listening to. But, to break down what Kevin's talking about, and I wish he was here for one more little segment before we get out of here as well. Matt Eberflus is not calling plays right now for the defense. And obviously he's a big part of the schemes, and he's a big part of what we're doing with the transitions and who's on the field and who's not. But I think it's time for him to take over play calling for the defense as a whole. I truly do. We brought you in here for a reason, and I loved it because especially with the Matt Nagy era, it was so gimme, take. I don't want anybody else in the room. Fuck Bill Lazor, fuck Chuck Pagano, fuck everybody. Like, I want to be the guy. That was Matt Nagy. Now, Matt Eberflus, as passive as he is, I love that he's giving guys like Williams, he's giving guys like Luke Getsy an opportunity, to really call plays, and Matt just really focus on being the head coach, and that's great. But you are one of the best defensive coordinators in the league right now, and you're not calling plays. Like, we need you to be the guy who's calling the shots. That's what it is. I think it's time for Matt Eberflus to really get behind that, really just dissect that and really unpack that and really understanding, even though he thinks he needs to be a head coach first, you got to do what's best for the team. You got to help this team win games, and winning ball games is one of the most important things right now. We got so many guys in here popping out comments saying L, skull. I feel like we have all of Minnesota in here right now. But I appreciate you guys tuning in live. If you're new here, even if you're a Vikings fan, definitely come in. Damian Hernandez says, why aren't we playing Sanborn after what he did in preseason? I think that's a huge opportunity kind of conversation. I think, there's a lot of conversations where we can say, these guys played well in preseason, they deserve a shot. But the reality is we know what they are in practice. And they see them on a more consistent basis than we have in 3 games that really didn't mean much. So on a NFL starting level, maybe Sanborn isn't quite that guy yet. But it's still very early on. We might see him later on, and he might prove everybody wrong. But I think, right now we do have the right personnel out there. I don't understand why Muhammad is playing. I would love to see Sanborn. I think he's great. I would love to see what he can do. Gibson over Muhammad. I completely agree. Gibson as well. We're looking at a lot of guys right now. 18 times L. We got Devin in here. We appreciate you coming in here, Dev. We always appreciate you coming in and tuning in live. But it's something right now. I think Sanborn's going to get his opportunity. An Illinois guy. He's proved it. He's earned it. And honestly, from what we saw today, and let's talk about it. Roquan Smith wants to be the highest paid linebacker in NFL history. Missed a huge tackle yet again today against Dalvin Cook, who spun him out, broke his ankles. It's definitely something right now. Who's got a live for the Eagles game? I do not, sir. I apologize, but it's going to be a great game. It's something, though, we really do need to understand that, Roquan is not going to be the franchise player moving forward. I think that's at least my opinion, what I think. I think, it's definitely going to be Brisker. It's definitely going to be one of those guys back there in the backcourt right now. Not the backcourt, the backfield, but it's going to come down to who wants it more. It's going to come down to who wants it more. I love Roquan. I love exactly who he is and the leader that he is on the field. But right now, highest paid linebacker with only 1 interception on the year. It hasn't screamed to me that he's deserving of that contract. And I think it shows. Now, obviously the team isn't great either. So that takes away from a lot of what he's trying to do. Great tackler, great eyes on the ball, but he's just been getting beat. He's not better than Shaq Leonard. He's not better than, Wagner. He's not better than Kendrick. He's not better than any of those guys or Warren. And that's just what it is. So, I do think at the end of the day, we got to be real about the situation. Kyler Gordon went crazy. Great day for Kyler Gordon. I've been very, very critical of him so far. But today he really showed out. So shout out to Kyler Gordon. Thank you for being one of the guys who showed up today. But why didn't he go out of bounds? Yeah, we talked about that. It's crazy. It is crazy. Okay, he's not that good, but he's way better than Wagner. I don't know. It's maybe. I don't know. After that tackle of the fan, Wagner's that dude. But in all seriousness, I think, why he didn't go out of bounds. We talked about it a little bit earlier. If you're just tuning in here, it's something where, it's just a moment. It's just a moment where you did not dissect the situation of the game. You did not understand the moment you were in. And I think a big part of it is you're playing against your former team that literally just cut you So I think that plays a part into it as well. Somebody said, you obviously have not been watching Bobby Wagner this season. He's been awful. I do agree with that. Bobby Wagner hasn't been great this year, but he's also a Hall of Fame talent. So, I mean, that's a conversation. So it's a different level. You know what I mean? Like, typically speaking, Bobby Wagner at his best versus Roquan Smith, Bobby's better. That's what I'm trying to hint at. But, you know, obviously neither have been completely insane this year. But Bobby on that amazing tackle against the fan, currently getting sued by the fan, which is insane to me. But before we get out of here, I do want to say I appreciate everybody who tuned in today. You guys are the best. I appreciate you for always tuning in to Mike on the Mic and Bears game, post games, pre games, all the games. We cover everything live. Cubs, Bears, Bulls, Sox, Hawks, Sky, everything. We cover them always here at Mike on the Mic. You can find us on All Sports, All Plays Network, or on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. We're on TikTok right now. Again, Cubs.Mike if you aren't following there. I do appreciate all you guys for coming in. Always appreciate everybody commenting and sharing. Until next time, bear down, baby. On to the next one. Peace.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.